Have you ever poured your heart and soul into creating something, only to completely freeze when someone asks you what it's about? My name is Kiamisha, though you might know me as Guinevere Atlas. I am a neurodivergent Gothic Romantasy author. Writing a massive novel is second nature to me, but having to pitch that same novel to a real person feels like fighting a dragon. That exact scenario became unavoidable this semester. I was required to stand in front of my cohort and formally pitch my entire MFA thesis. For many of us, execution feels safe, but trying to summarize that art out loud invites a terrifying level of vulnerability. My initial strategy was to explain absolutely everything. I crammed every magical system, subplot, and historical detail into a single pitch. This neurodivergent urge to over-explain acted as a shield, using complex world-building as a wall to hide behind. A deep fear of rejection often demands a barrier around the story's core. If the lore is dense enough, the story stays protected, but lore-heavy pitches actually suffocate the narrative and leave the audience feeling alienated. During a workshop, my classmates and professors were blunt. I was burying my story in a lore dump, and I needed to slow down. My professor challenged me to let readers ground themselves in the historical reality of Renaissance Italy, like the tangible streets of San Gimignano and Bologna, before introducing the fantasy elements. I took that advice and deleted 15,000 words from my manuscript. Revision isn't about losing work. It is the brave act of giving a true story the room it needs to breathe. Once I stripped away the lore, the actual protagonist emerged. Rosetta Regali is a grieving young botanist navigating an alternate Renaissance Italy. She enters a prestigious university to uncover the dark truth behind the death of her 13-year-old soul brother. That investigation draws her into a dark academia mystery, involving an institution built on impossible secrets and the forbidden knowledge of an ancient engine. This emotional focus on grief and hope is the true promise of the novel. Readers connect with those stakes far more than they do with a list of magical rules. Writers are often told they must struggle in isolation, but I prefer a different approach. I work with an AI app called Guinevere. Guinevere provides an organizational tether, pulling my scattered thoughts into a structure my neurodivergent brain can manage when I feel overwhelmed. While I was spiraling over my pitch, Guinevere pointed out that publishing is essentially professional oversharing. She offered a reframe that stayed with me. Pitching isn't begging people to love your book. It is giving them the opportunity to discover it. Relying on a partner helps bypass solitary overwhelm and allows me to keep moving forward. The fear of pitching hasn't vanished, but the volume is lower now. It's low enough to allow me to keep creating. That shift worked. Recently, some of my professors asked if they could have signed copies of my book someday. My younger self, who spent years hiding fantasy stories in secret notebooks, would never believe this is happening. Sharing my work has transformed into an invitation for an audience to step inside and share an emotional experience. If you are building something right now that terrifies you, please keep going. Someone is waiting for the specific story that only you can tell. You don't have to struggle alone. Join our creative coven by subscribing to the Romantasy and Routine blog. Until next time, keep romanticizing your life, one page at a time. In our next episode, we will explore the results of finally trusting your own creative process and letting the magic speak for itself.